Good evening, welcome to the August 10th Board of Selectmen meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence to follow. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Joseph Jerry Kelleher. Jerry Kelleher passed away on July 28th, leaving a large family behind. He was a lifelong resident of Abington, graduated from Abington High School in 1959, served in the Navy, was an Abington police officer, and owned and operated Joseph J. Kelleher Company for almost 50 years. Jerry was the past president of the Polish Club, member of the Knights of Columbus, the American Legion, and valued member and past chairman of the Abington Conservation Commission. Jerry was never happier than when he was with his family or telling you about his kids and grandkids. He referred to himself as the world's luckiest dad. He will be greatly missed by all community. Thank you. The first item up is for executive session. So that being said, I'll entertain a motion to conduct strategy session in preparation for negotiation with non-union personnel under Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, by roll call vote, Mike?
Aye.
Got it. Jim?
Aye.
Alex?
Yes.
Chairman says aye. We'll be in executive session. Thank you. Back from executive session. Next item up is a public hearing. The Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on Monday, August 10th, 2020 at 7:15 in the Cotter hearing room, 500 Leonard's Way, on the application of, forgive me if I get the names wrong, Trang Boo and Mai Nguyen. Double Horse Bistro, 800 Brockton Ave, for a wine and malt beverage with cordials liquor license. So we have representatives from Double Horse here, right? Could one of you step to the mic, please?
So I'm the...
This microphone right here, if you don't mind. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes, I have it. So my name is Trang Vu, and I'm the manager of the Double Horse Bistro in Abington.
Okay. And you currently don't have a liquor license? So this is a
Yes,
new
but
license
now
for-
we only sell food and bubble teas, Thai tea.
What are your hours of operation right now?
Right now we do Monday 9 to 1 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday 9 to 4, and Friday, Saturday 9 to 7 p.m.
Are the hours gonna stay the same?
Yes, but now due to the COVID-19, so we just cut the hours.
I went through the entire package over the weekend. I think everything looks good. We have no objections from any of our inspectional services. And if you haven't been in there, they have some great food, so, and, you know, Tim and I like food. So.
Thank you.
I heard that. Any other questions from the board?
What were the hours again?
So we do a Monday 9 to 1 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday 9 to 4, Friday and Saturday 9 to 7.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Any public comments? Doesn't seem to be any. I'll take a motion if anybody wants to make one.
So, we'd have to close the hearing first, correct?
The one I never opened.
Yeah.
I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. So now I'll accept that motion.
I would make a motion to approve the wine and malt beverage with cordial license for Double Horse Bistro.
And I will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the liquor license for Double Horse Bistro?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Scott, are there any liquor licenses available?
A full all alcohol? I don't believe so.
Okay. But the malt,
The cordials, yeah, I think that,
we're allowed to do more of those? Yeah, okay. Just curious. You're all set, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
yeah, and
Have a good night.
you can check with Nancy later in the week.
Oh, yeah, so I will come back to talk to Miss Nancy.
Yep, yeah, just give her a call, or she'll call you as soon as it's all printed up and signed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck. You too.
Good night.
First up on the action discussion items, vote to approve the minutes for July 27th, 2020.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of July 27, 2020.
I'll second that.
With a second, any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes for July 27th, 2020, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved unanimously. Next up is a request for Stephen Santus, forgive me again if I'm butchering the name, Santusanino, from alternate to delegate to Old Colony Planning Council. So I assume we're going from an alternate to a full member of the Old Colony Planning Council.
Yes.
And that's the only opening on that board?
Yep, as far as I know, that was the only opening, and it actually came from Old Colony Planning Council saying, we recommend that you be a full delegate.
Okay. Mr. Steven isn't here, but he did fill out the application online. I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Stephen Santosario from alternate to delegate the Old Colony Planning Council.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the appointment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next up is a request to appoint Robert Toomey as Nbta Committee Representative. And Mr. Toomey was, again, the only application for the only seat available. Any questions? Toomey also is not here, but filled out the application.
I'll make a motion to appoint Robert Toomey as MBTA Committee Representative.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. And next up is a request to appoint Sam Alfred as voting member to Conservation Commission. So is he an alternate now?
No. Is this a voting or an alternate?
No, I think it was to actually be a voting member.
Oh,
No, we
we moved Rich up, but
Yeah.
that was for Kathy Creighton's vacancy.
And I believe there was vacancies on the board.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we need,
Was Jerry Kelleher still on the board when he
he
passed?
might have been.
Oh, yeah.
It would, yeah, I think that would make sense.
I'm impressed with Sam's resume. It fits right in with conservation, so I'm happy to see somebody
Yeah.
applying that actually works in the field.
And a younger person too.
And a younger person, yeah. Been in town this whole life, I make a motion to appoint.
I'll second.
All those in favor of the appointment of Sam Alfred to voting member of the Conservation Commission, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That one is unanimous too. Next up, I didn't see anything in the packet here, Scott, but next up is discussion on parking ticket fees.
Yeah, this actually was a result of Alex you got the email from Plymouth County?
Yeah, I received an email from Jeff Welch, he's the Assistant Treasurer for Plymouth County, and Abington, along with about 32 other municipalities, uses Plymouth County to collect parking fees and tickets and things like that, which I was aware of, but I didn't realize they handled so many. And another town had asked Plymouth County to do a survey of the town to see where they fit in with the fines. And Jeff actually realized that Abington hasn't updated our fines since 1984. So he suggested we take a look at it. And he did send us the comparisons.
Yeah, and I'll send the spreadsheet out to everybody, because I'm sure it shows what they are. So if we wanted to look at them, I'm really not sure what the process is. I did, as much with the time I had to try and figure out how we go about
Yeah, I
having
just
a
got
fine
this email
hearing.
the other day, so I think you should send that out and we can all just look at it before the next meeting and decide, like,
Be helpful.
I know parking on the street during a snow emergency, it's a $10 fine.
We're pretty much $10 for everything
Every-
except handicap parking, which we're
And
at
handicap,
100.
we moved that up, we increased that a few years ago, but I think that was with the whole handicap thing that we did.
Does that give averages, or
Yeah, it does, yeah.
it's very helpful for us? to see
Yeah,
that?
so I think it's something, I don't think it's a moneymaker for the town, but I think we should probably take a look at it and bring them up a little bit.
No, I mean, if it could be more, not really to make money, but if it could be more of a deterrent,
Right,
Right.
especially the snow emergency.
because for $10, it might be worth parking on the street someday.
I know, maybe we should have announced what the fines were, maybe.
Yeah.
We really haven't had an issue with illegal parking, maybe now we will.
And
You
then,
go into
and I
Boston
did
for an
discuss it
hour,
with
it's
the chief
$20 or
also.
whatever, so.
What did the chief have to say?
So the chief had, suggested that it really, they don't write a lot of tickets, for obvious reasons. And the one you mentioned is typically the ticket that they may write would be the snow emergency parking, but they always start off by really leaving the warnings and just letting everybody know, because people tend to forget. So they're not heavy on ticketing for this, so it's not going to, whatever we decide to do isn't gonna,
Not gonna change any.
no, it's not gonna bring any great amount of money. But we, like you said, I mean, we're pretty much $10 across the board on everything, and most towns seem to be in that 25, 15 to 25 on a lot of these things. The one that, Bridgewater, within 10 feet of our hydrant, Bridgewater's like $105. Whitman's $100. We're
And a
10,
broken window.
so,
I don't know if I wanna
it's certainly
put $100.
something, I'll send it out to
Now that
everybody.
we have two firefighters on the board, they might go to five.
You wanna go to 105.50?
We just put the hose right through the window.
Yeah, they like smashing things, so they don't mind when the car's parked in front of the hydrant.
We can move the car.
All right, so we'll table that, we'll continue to look at that as we go on. Town manager report.
All right, so, let's see. Just some issues that have come up. One that's come up several times, and I don't know whether we want to, we've had a request by the complainant on Niles Street. There was the sidewalk issue that was complained about. And I had, our DPW director and our building commissioner go out there and take a look at it. And what it was is there was a house that had been torn down, an old derelict, dilapidated home that was torn down, and a new one was built a little bit off the, to the side of the lot. A new driveway was put in and a curb cut was made. The new driveway in this area adjacent to the driveway was repaired, and the blacktop was replaced. But where the old driveway was a dirt driveway. There was never any blacktop there, according to the building commissioner and according to, his research on it, and obviously institutional knowledge of being in the area. There was never any mechanism then or now that, for just sort of a simple project like that, that's not going through zoning or planning or anything to require anything beyond what is either in our bylaws or in the building code. Many towns have a mechanism, if you're going to cut in for a new driveway, they would have, as Alex had pointed out, a road opening permit requirement. And that might be an area where we could say, well, if you're opening a road, where you're closing it up or whatever, we want you to fix the sidewalk. In this particular case, you got to remember the sidewalks are typically in the town layout and their town property. And if there was a sidewalk that was there and it was damaged, they would be on the hook to fix it if we, had knowledge of this. Again, this house has been sold and there's an owner in there and the contractor's not in the picture anymore. So one thing that I have talked about, and I'll bring it up with the Finance Committee, and I've discussed it with Sue, is that going forward in the future, we want to put some money aside for other projects. We don't have money earmarked to just go in and doing sidewalk repair. When that street comes up and it's time for the street to get a layover, that sidewalk that whole thing would end up being repaired. No, but unfortunately, it's not in the queue right now. And there isn't money to go, and that sidewalk, as long as it is, it's, a few hundred feet. The whole thing needs to be redone, except for obviously the very new portion. Again, there's no program for that. So I do want to work to set up something where we take money every year from free cash and we set aside a fund that just sort of builds up, and then every third year or fourth year, when he has a good amount of money, Johnstone can look at projects like this that we can tackle. But unfortunately, there's really not much that can be done at this point for this particular, and I do feel bad because I'd love to say yes to everybody when they come in with problems like that and like to be able to take care of them, but, we do get multiple calls every week of people, that have issues, traffic issues, pothole issues, and we do want to address them all. Unfortunately, this one may not be as easy to address. So, but it has come up, and I will reach out to the complainant over there because she does deserve another response, and it has been a while, but I don't think that there's, at the end of the day, I don't think that there's going to be a quick resolution or a happy resolution to this one.
I think her point, she wanted the contract to come back and pay for it.
Right.
She couldn't do that. I hope she understands that, unfortunately, at this point in time, the town can't do it either.
Yeah, it'd be very difficult for us to go after the contract, and the other part of it is if in fact there was never sidewalk in this area where there was a driveway, and it was a dirt driveway, and there was never sidewalk in that 15 feet of town property, to make somebody come over there and put something there that
When
wasn't.
I first looked at it, I thought that might have been a sewer, where they brought the sewer in or something like that. And if he had damaged the sidewalk, then yes, but if it was a dirt driveway before, he was under no obligation to patch that.
No, he wasn't under an obligation. I think, personally, if it was me, I think I would have done it. But he also would have
When I
been.
did the driveway anyway.
I think he will, the process for it would have, he probably should have come to the town and asked permission to do it, because it is town property.
Right.
From his point of view, he probably doesn't want to be putting in sidewalks for the town unless he absolutely has to because of liability issues.
But technically, we should have a mechanism in there for when he did do the new curb cut, basically,
Right.
and put a new driveway in, he should have gotten permission from Johnstone to do that.
And that's something that, again, along with, I want to have a fund that we start establishing, but I do want to set up, and that's our next thing, is that we will have an internal rule. I don't think it has to go to the level of bylaw or general bylaw, but I think we can put in some sort of a policy that they will need to do something like that from the future. So there will be a road, whether it's a road opening permit or however we want to, phrase it.
There are several towns, cities and towns around that I've worked in, that if you cross their sidewalk with heavy equipment, like an excavator to go in and knock that house down, you have to put up a $5,000 bond.
And it's a good plan.
So if you damage the sidewalk, then you have to fix it. In this case, he didn't damage the sidewalk, but still, technically, he should have gone for a road opening permit from Johnstone. And I don't think that's in our bylaws to do something like that, so it's something I think we need to look at.
No, and I'll talk to John and Marshall about it, but yeah, we certainly want to make sure that those things do get picked up in the future, so. That unfortunately, like I said, there's a good learning curve here, and some lessons, but I don't know that we'll be able to, fix it. But again, it's something that I'm not sure where that street is on Johnstone's list of streets that need to be done, but hopefully,
I don't know if that street's been done in the last.
Didn't look
years
like
or
it.
not. I am getting a text from somebody watching us anyway, and they're saying that we should set up a revenue, infrastructure fund from the revenue from the bot shops.
It's not a bad
$300,000 a
idea.
year.
I don't know whether there's have been any plans on that, but.
I don't know. I wasn't on when you
It's
guys
not a bad.
discussed
I
that.
thought the money coming from the pot shops has to be somehow related to issues that come up.
No, I don't
Yes
believe.
yes and no.
There's two.
Right, there's
Right.
two. One of the funds does have to go to that, and
But
the
there's
other
3
one,
and 3, right?
The other one.
3%, 3%.
right,
Yeah.
that the town that we negotiated.
Can go into
is,
the general fund.
Part of the
Yeah.
HCA, the host community,
Yeah.
that goes into the general fund.
So, I mean, that's something we could look at too.
I like that. Okay, I do want to remind everybody, Town Hall, again, the governor came out last week, and he's a little antsy as, with the spike in some COVID-related issues, so Town Hall, for the most part, everything's been going smoothly, knock on wood. We do ask people when they walk in, if we'll go through the whole list, if you're not feeling well, please go home, wash your hands, we have hand sanitizer, we have masks that we hand out, and we're counting people as they come in, so we're keeping the limits low, but I want to remind everybody that, if you can do something online, if you can pop it in the mail, if you can do anything like that, call us, email us, anything we can do to avoid, that if you don't want to make the trip here, if you're uncomfortable or sick, we want to make sure that you get your services, so, feel free to reach out.
And the mailbox is out at the front door.
Mailbox is out at the front door. We should have that drive-through window fixed relatively soon, so
Oh, good.
people can start using that to drive.
What's the update on the town departments? Is everyone back to full staff here?
We've been, Town Hall has been pretty much full operation.
So, okay, we're not doing like an alternate schedule like that?
There's a couple of offices that have
I just don't know if everyone's back.
more people in it that have, than we feel comfortable with. So those offices, if a couple of days, somebody might work from home, just to keep it down to staffing levels, but everything's fully operational.
Okay, and we're
So-
set up to work remotely from like?
Yeah, it's typically a department head, and, they're fully capable of getting everything done remotely if they have to. We've asked, obviously, the building department, they're able to be out in the field more. They, finally loosened up some, I know that they're starting to hit some of the inspections with the fire department and get caught up on stuff like that. Board of Health, he's out all the time. He's got all sorts of stuff, he never stops, and the poor guy probably could use a break, but, so we're trying to keep people out, as far as employees go, that way the public can get in here and get what they need done.
Hey, I found out tonight that the mail-in ballots, we had 1,699 people apply.
Yeah?
And we had 200 absentee ballots apply.
Yeah, that's at the end. Don't
Oh,
jump
I'm
ahead.
sorry, did I jump the gun? Sorry.
It's my fault for not sending you
If you
something.
don't have it, you don't.
I don't know what.
We did, just to give you an update, we did have at the last planning meeting, there was a couple of the parties involved in the meeting had some words out in the hallway. They sent something to this board about that. I don't know if you guys saw Nancy had forwarded along to you, but you had a couple of pages to the Abington Selectmen. From, I don't remember who, it was from Bill Crichton and Mike Noonan, in between those two. you know, I've discussed it with both parties that, you know, they have to, everybody has to be civil. We all have to be civil at these meetings, and that means that, you know, there's no raising your voice or arguing when the meeting's over. If, you know, if we have to, we'll shut down a meeting, but we can't have that kind of behavior. So for the most part, if the matter had been turned over, I brought it over to the attention of the chief of police just to take a look at. Doesn't believe anything has happened there that warrants any further investigation, so.
Both parties are now,
Both parties are on notice to behave themselves and try and
both
keep,
happy with the resolution.
well,
Mediator.
as happy as anybody can be, yeah. We do, so, well, our budget numbers, I think, as you know, they did come in. And the next two bullet items I have for you is, you know, so our Chapter 70 and our unrestricted government aid numbers came in. We're good on both of our projections for that. So in order to move that money, we'll need to have a special town meeting, and I think we kind of knew that we were going to have a special town meeting anyways. Our thought was, we were a little more thinking that we were going to use it to maybe move money out of reserves, but I'm glad to say we're not going to be doing that. We're probably, what I'm looking for is to open a warrant, and if you guys can vote to open a town meeting warrant, we would like to have that special on October 19th. I haven't talked to Greg Corbo yet. Initially, I thought he was going to be here tonight, so to see whether he's available. I do want to put as much stuff on there that, you know, the housekeeping stuff that we didn't do at the annual, so to be moving a little bit of money around, maybe the street acceptances, maybe some of the zoning stuff. There wasn't a lot, so it'd be nice to just sort of take care of that and get it out of the way. So if you guys are amenable to that, if you could maybe make a vote to open up the town meeting warrant for October 19th town meeting, we'll vote maybe next month or next time we meet to close it. Or we'll close it when we have in 30 days.
Should we have that on the agenda before we?
I don't know, because it was really sort of a last minute thing. I think like I said, we'll have Greg Corbo here, and I can check in with him tomorrow. So if you do vote for it and he says it's no good, it's no good. Preferably, I don't see why it wouldn't, you know, to open it. I think if you were closing it, maybe that wasn't on the agenda.
If we were closing it, I think it would be a different issue. It would have to be on the agenda, but I'm not the attorney, but I would think that opening it is no problem because it's not hurting anyone, it's not affecting anything.
And I believe you do have that ability to call for the town meeting.
I'll take a motion. Somebody wants to make it.
Tim's microphone is not as clear.
I will take a motion if somebody would like to make it.
I will make a motion to open the warrant for a special town meeting on October 19th.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Special town meeting warrant is open.
All right, it's a Christmas tree that's hanging stuff on it.
Yeah.
All right. We've received, I think I saw it on Facebook mostly, but, you know, some folks were asking, no, we are not, at this time, unless it's changed, getting sprayed for mosquitoes in this town, unless the winds are really good coming over from,
Everything was south of us.
yeah.
You can still call and request
Yeah,
that
so,
your property gets sprayed.
yep.
Am I still in your thunder? I'm sorry.
No, that's quite all right. No.
Go ahead.
No, but yeah, if you do, you know, if you have some issues, you can call Plymouth County Mosquito Control. They will come out to your house and they will do some area spraying. I know they're very busy, especially this time of year with what's going on, so I do believe they take, you know, if you just get an answering machine, just leave a message. Early voting, as you guys know, for the September 1st state primary, you can early vote from August 22nd to August 28th. So Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 PM you can vote, or Friday, 8:30 to 12:30. And there are two, there's a Saturday, August 22nd, from 2 PM to 6 PM, and Sunday, August 23rd, from 2 PM to 6 PM. It's right here at Town Hall. I think what we'll probably do is because of the amount of people that may be coming in that week, we're still required to keep our numbers low in Town Hall, so we may do something to the effect of staggering schedules that week. I'm not really sure how we can do it, but we'll come up with a plan. That we're still open, obviously, and functioning, but encourage people to maybe take some time off, or, again, work from home if it's at all possible. So I'll give these to you guys, and we'll see it posted, but as Jim said, we've already had, for absentee and mail-in voting, there's already been 1,600 requests for that. And another thing, with Town Hall, tomorrow's, you guys have noticed, maybe not everybody knows, we're in the middle of a paving project. We're having the whole parking lot paved and part of the roadway and the entrance roadway in front of the library. So we're going to close town offices tomorrow, just for the day, to the public. Town employees will be here. We will be open, so if you need us, call us, email us, whatever you need. We'll try and deal with it online or over the phone, but just for over an abundance of caution and trying to keep everybody safe, we're just going to have it closed for vehicle traffic. Employees will be parking over by the high school. They'll be able
So
to
are
walk.
they doing the entire parking lot?
They're going to do
The back?
the whole back, and then all in front of the drive in front of the library. It was really bad. It was, I think this was something that came up 2 years ago.
20 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, it was funded, and they just.
A couple of years ago, we also voted to replace the granite curb, and I know there has been some replaced here.
Yep.
Could you check and see if that was for all of the granite curbing? Because if it wasn't, I think that's something we need to look at in the future. I know they did it around the front of the town hall.
Yeah, they did a
But
lot.
over in the parking lot, there's still the old concrete.
Yeah, and I'll check with John, because I know that the remainder of the parking lot, the other area that hasn't been done, I think that's slated for next year.
Okay. So maybe at that time, we want to look into doing the granite curbing at the
Yeah,
same time.
and I'll, again, I'll just double check with John on that.
Okay.
And then I just have a couple of, I got a couple of accolades for the police department. We got a certificate of appreciation for a training session that Chief Majensky did with the government of Dubai. So it was actually, he did a training, and it must have been it was a Zoom, obviously online training in community policing. So a nice welcome and a thank you from the government of Dubai, and a certificate of appreciation to our chief. We also got a letter of thank you and some, a letter to formally recognize a group of patrolmen who exhibited extraordinary life-saving efforts during a serious rollover motor vehicle crash that occurred on July 22nd. So it was Officer Feely, Officer Canada, Officer Gillen, and Officer Lynch, who acted quickly and bravely and fell back on their experience and their training and did an amazing job, and went above and beyond. So we had a nice letter of thanks from the chief to them.
I did read something on Facebook about that from
Yeah.
a witness that was there.
Yeah, that's it.
Gave a
I saw
great
that.
account.
Yep.
It was on Facebook then? Okay.
Yeah, no, I did see it there
I knew I
too.
read it, but it was just an amazing story.
It-
The bravery of these young kids.
Yeah.
Which is what they are, just risking their life for us.
Yeah, they came upon this vehicle, it was overturned. They attempted to get the doors open, they were having a tough time, but they immediately acted. They worked together. One of them crawled in and into the vehicle. And then, of course, he also mentions that, the fire department came down with their jaws of life, and, and they all worked together as a big team, and, got this guy out of there. So that was great. Good work all around. So that, my friends, is all I got for you.
Does anybody, we didn't have the public announcements, because, well, I skipped them. So if anybody hasn't, does anybody have anything they want to mention?
What, public announcements from earlier or what?
Anything?
Yeah, I just had two things.
All right, I'm sorry, I skipped them.
No, that's
Feel free to yell at
okay.
me.
Usually I don't bring anything up, but I figured this was important. First of all, my first one, I want to congratulate the Abington High School graduating class of 2020. Their graduation was this past Saturday, and by all accounts, it went off without a hitch. It's definitely a different time to be graduating, for sure. I remember my graduation, I didn't have to deal with it.
At least you remember yours.
Yeah. But I just wanted to wish them all the best of luck in their future endeavors, and, this is all going to make everyone a lot stronger for dealing with it, And my second one was I wanted to commend John Stone and the staff at the DPW, as well as Abington Rec and their staff, the lifeguards, for their efforts to open and maintain Island Grove this summer. It was a shortened season, but it was definitely appreciated by the families that are members there. It gave them a little slice of normalcy during the pandemic. So again, thanks to those folks. And a reminder that Island Grove's last day is actually this Wednesday, 8/12.
That was quick.
Yeah. Summer's over.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything? I just wanted to mention one thing. I just wanted to thank the school committee. Over the past 3 weeks or so, they've had the impossible task of trying to make everybody happy.
And that's not gonna happen.
No, and they,
It's not,
unfortunately, that never happens, but they sure did try. And I watched a couple of those 3-hour meetings, and all 5 of those committee members, the superintendent, assistant superintendent as well, really did their research, and they all voted, no matter how they voted, they all voted with what they thought was best for Abington. So I just want to commend them for their good work over the last 3 weeks. I know it hasn't been easy. So if there's nothing else, I will take a motion.
Motion to close?
Any discussion? All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.